Hey there everyone, what's up? Just wanted to make this video as kind of a stopgap, but mostly just to give an update on what's going on with my channel and then just some game talk. But basically, I just wanted to make a video letting everybody know that I'm still around, I guess. I got a few messages, but I haven't been able to make a lot of videos recently, but I have a good reason. Recently started a games industry job, so I'm actually officially a games translator now. So I've been working this new job for about, I don't know, a month or so, and eats into a lot of my gameplay time. It's not like a new job, it's more of a second job in the sense that I'm still doing my old job, which is a different translation job, but I'm also doing the games job after my normal job. It's mostly freelance, but I am translating some, pretty interesting stuff right now. Stuff that people will be interested in. That will be coming out in English next year, I believe, beginning of next year. And I don't think I can say what it is, and I don't want to give any hints because I'm under like a non-disclosure agreement or whatever, so I can't really say anything. But I'll let you guys know what I worked on after it's out. I think I can reveal it then. But until then, I'm working on a game. It's for a pretty big company as well, so it's pretty good stuff. So I'm busy with that, and it's like having a second full-time job almost. So I'm busy a lot of the time. A lot of the time during the week when I was usually come home from work and I'd play games until who knows when, and then I'd go to sleep and go to work the next day. But now I kind of come home and I do more work instead of games. So good for my bank account, bad for my YouTube channel, I guess. But beyond that, it's also October, which is a busy time for me normally. I mentioned this before on my channel, but I'm actually like a trained special effects artist. So, I haven't done much, especially recently because of my jobs and whatever, but I have done a few things, like I did a music video and stuff, but mostly I do club events and, kind of live performances. So, I usually do makeup for that kind of stuff, but because of Halloween around, I usually get a lot of requests during October. And this year I have been had to refuse a lot because I'm just too busy. But I do have some stuff that I did take on, so I've got, two translation jobs and my special effects. So I'm incredibly busy. Like, I don't have time to do anything. I'm always sleepy and I'm always working. It seems that way, at least. So, I get some time to play games, but mostly it's like when I can't concentrate on work, or I'm on the train, or during my lunch break. That's like when I get to play games. So I haven't had a lot to really talk about. I will put up some other stuff though in the near future. I did actually play some stuff. I just, not at the same pace that I had been, so I don't have a whole lot to talk about. And, being busy is something I'm not used to, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, that's about it. It's just a quick update. I'm still around and I'm still going to do the channel, but until I'm a little bit less busy, which, probably next month or so, well, at least I'll have less, extra work next month. So, I should be able to put more stuff up. But what I'm going to do today is just a pickups video, and I don't normally do pickups videos, but most of these games aren't things I picked up very recently, so I've played most of them at least a little bit, so I can kind of give just a short reason of why I bought it and whatever. That's about it. Just stopgap pickup video, I guess. If you don't like pickup videos, and I don't usually watch that many pickup videos, I guess turn it off now. Video's done for you. But if you want to see what I picked up over the past, I don't know, this isn't, let me see, this isn't everything I picked up. This is mostly stuff that I probably won't talk about again. for the most part. Some of this stuff I will, but for the most part, this is stuff that like it doesn't have a place for my channel so much. Like I'm not gonna do impressions videos on my retro stuff, and I'm not really doing reviews anymore. So I guess I'm not gonna have any retro reviews anymore. So this stuff is just kind of stuff I bought and I play, but I usually don't talk about for whatever reason unless I do like some kind of special video about a topic. So some of those will be coming up in that, but most of this stuff you'll probably never hear me talk about again. So I don't feel bad about doing a pickup video about this stuff. But yeah, let's get into it because this is already 5 or 6 minutes and I haven't even started. So I'll go through these quick. First game, Metal Max on the DS, and this is Metal Max 2 Reloaded. And Metal Max 2 was originally a Super Famicom game, and was it? Yeah, I mean it was, but I'm trying to think if there was a Famicom version. Maybe not, I don't think so. But whatever, Metal Max 2 was originally a Super Famicom game, and this is kind of a updated port of it. There actually is an updated port of Metal Max 1, which is originally a Famicom game, and they ported it to the Super Nintendo as Metal Max Reloaded. So this is Metal Max 2 Reloaded. It's kind of the same kind of thing. But this game actually, it's a pretty cool series, and I played it on the Super Nintendo actually already. But I figured I'd get the updated port and play through it before Metal Max 4 comes out next month. It's not looking likely, though. It's not likely I'll even be able to touch it before Metal Max 4 comes out, which is at the beginning of November, or maybe the end of November. I don't remember, but it's pretty soon. It's within a month, I think. So Metal Max 4 on the 3DS, looking pretty good, and I'll put up an impressions of that once I'm done with it. Once it's out and everything, But yeah, I'm pretty excited for that. So let's continue. We've got for the PSP, Tactics Ogre. And I bought this because I hadn't played the updated version on the PSP. I played this on the PS1 and on the Saturn. I believe I have it over here, or maybe that's the first one. I don't remember. But I played this game before multiple times. I actually had it when it originally came out because I think like everybody in the PS1 era, like people who are into RPGs, when you saw a Square game, you just bought it because you figured it would be good. I did that during the PS1 era, so I played like pretty much everything, including Tactics Ogre. So, good stuff. I'm actually playing that now intermittently on my PSP. Again, I play it on the train and during my lunch break, so it's really slow going, and I've been kind of working with tactics too much, in the sense that I'm way under leveled for the part of the game I'm at now, so I'm just kind of stuck grinding until I can level up to a point where I can continue with the story missions. Like the random battles in that game scale, but the story missions don't, so you kind of you get stuck at a point if you don't grind a bit. So that's what I'm doing now. But I'm right at the end. I'm like literally like 5 battles from the last battle. Just too low of a level. Anyway, let's continue. We've got Classic Dungeon. This is a Nippon Ichi game. I bought this because I was kind of in the mood for this kind of game, and then when I played it, it wasn't what I was looking for. I kind of didn't enjoy this. I didn't like the way the character moved, and I didn't like the goofiness of it. I don't know. I don't know. Like, it just didn't do it for me. I didn't like this game. I didn't beat it either because I didn't like it enough to continue playing. So I only played it for like a couple hours, and I just thought, this game is not for me. It could be good, but I don't know. I don't think it was a horrible game, like game-wise. It just wasn't what I was looking for, and I didn't enjoy it. So, Classic Dungeon, I think that came out in English too, so. But whatever. Another Nippon Ichi game I bought was Criminal Girls, and Criminal Girls is an RPG that, what does it say? Like a girl punishment RPG. Man, initially, this is another, like I said, it's a Nippon Ichi game, so it's goofy. But I bought it because I thought like, well, that's kind of a weird concept for an RPG, and I thought like, well, of course it's kind of target audience is pervs, I guess, but it is kind of a weird concept for an RPG, so I thought, oh, I'll get it and see how it is. And then like, of course, like immediately after I bought it, they announced like, oh, there's going to be an updated port for the Vita. So now I felt like now I feel like I should get that one and just wait to play it. So I haven't played much of Criminal Girls. I only played like an hour or so before, I stopped and thought, well, I'll just wait for the Vita one and buy that. I might not actually. I might just play the PSP one and not get the Vita one, but if there's an updated port, I generally like to play the updated version. It's just me though. Last thing here is something. This is Elminaj Ibun Ame no mi harashi. That's wrong. Ame no mi hashira. So this is a game. It's a first-person dungeon crawler. You can't make your party though. It's not like a normal Elminaj game in the sense that you don't select the characters' classes. I don't. So it's not like you can. It's not the same kind of setup, but it is an Elminaj game. So it is a first-person dungeon crawler, and it's not a fantasy. It is a fantasy-based one, but it's not like a Western fantasy-based one. It's more like Japanese style. And I'm not going to talk a lot about this right now. Because I'm going to talk about it in a different video in the future, because it's related to something else that I wanted to talk about, so I can't really say without spoiling the future video, so I'll just move on. But this game will show back up, so if you want to hear about it, just look forward to it when I get more time. Let's see, what else do we got here? We've got Tokyo Dungeon. This is for the PS1, and Tokyo Dungeon is kind of a cyberpunk first-person dungeon crawler. It's like in near future Tokyo, and there's a bit of like network hacking and stuff in the game, but it plays more like it plays more like Dungeon Master, I think, than anything. It's like an action first-person dungeon crawler, so it's not turn-based so much as it's like time-based, like Dungeon Master, I guess. But the setting and scenario is quite different. So it's pretty interesting. I haven't played that much of it, and it's pretty long game, so I haven't. It's not that long actually. Comparatively, it's not that long. It's just I haven't had time to really sit down and go through it. This is Shadow Tower. Shadow Tower is a From Software game, so it's actually a lot. This is a lot like Kingsfield's, but it's first person and action, and it's dark and kind of gritty. It's like your PS1. It's like a PS1 first person Dark Souls, I guess. It's made by the same company, same kind of style, same kind of difficulty level. So there you go, Shadow Tower. It's on the PSN. Whoa! It's on the PSN network. If you feel like downloading it and playing it, it's free if you're a PS Plus member in Japan at least. So there's that. What else do we got here? This one is for the Sega Saturn. This is Funky Horror Band. And Funky Horror Band is. I got this actually when Pete was here. When Pete Dorr stayed at my apartment for a couple days when he was in Tokyo, and Pete and I went about, searching for games for a bunch of time. I mean, a couple days, and this was like one of the games I found when I was out with Pete, and it was $1 and it was sealed, so I opened it and we played it for a little bit, and it's a role playing game. It's Sega CD role playing game, but I didn't know what it was. Neither of us knew what it was when I bought it, but it is. I did a bit of research on it afterwards, and it's probably one of the worst RPGs. Like apparently, it's like considered like one of the absolute worst or the absolute worst RPG on the Sega CD. And I could kind of see that. It's not that great actually, but I bought it because it was really cheap, and neither of us had heard of it, and the name is ridiculous. So that's kind of it. I might actually play through it if I get time, but it's probably unlikely. This is Mizerna Falls, and Mizerna Falls is a this is for the PS1, and Mizerna Falls is it's an open world kind of I want to say it's kind of like a detective type of story, but it's a little different. Imagine imagine something like uh, Deadly Premonition, but it's not quite like that. But it's impressive because it's like a fully open world game on the PS1. Imagine something like Silent Hill, I guess, but it's not the same type of game. It's pretty impressive for what it's doing, and like people in this game have set timetables, like in what's it called, Deadly Premonition. So if you walk around town at certain times, people will be doing certain things. It's pretty impressive for the PS1, and it's unfortunate that it never got a English release. I might actually talk about this game more in depth later on, but again, no time right now. So let's continue. Some stuff for the Sega Saturn. I've got Cyberdoll, and I bought this, I don't even know, more than 6 months ago, and I haven't been able to finish my way through it. What happened was I played through about half of it actually, and my battery in my Saturn died, so I lost my save. I haven't gone back to play it again since then. So I'm just kind of eventually I'll go back to it, but I don't know when. Next I have Buckenroder, and this game is a kind of steampunk strategy RPG. It's pretty cool looking. This is a game, another one that Pete recommended for me when he was here. When we were searching for games. He was like, "You gotta get this, you gotta get this," and we searched around for it, but it wasn't anywhere. So eventually, I ordered it after I searched around and couldn't find it. But it's cheap. I mean, it was like $3 or something when I bought it, but it looks really awesome. I haven't sat down to play it yet though, but I did order it and buy it, and with the intention of playing it, but again, no time. So let's see, we got some other stuff here. PS2. Let's see, PS2. We've got this is Dragoon, otherwise known as Drakengard, and I've played Drakengard before. But I never played the Japanese version of Drakengard, and it's not different gameplay wise, but apparently the story is much more disturbing than the English version. If you've ever played Drakengard, the story is it's the kind of thing where when you play the game, you kind of realize that your character is not a good guy, and all of the people that you meet and hang out with are not good people. It's like you're full of child murderers and child molesters. Like, that's all the characters in the game. Like, I mean, these are the people in your party. These aren't the villains. So like, and your character, the main character is like is like a brutal murderer, basically. I mean, there's no getting around it. The characters in that game are not good people, and and I bought it because I wanted to try the Japanese one, which is apparently even more disturbing. So I'll play through that eventually. I've played through the original before. Another good point for that is that Drakengard 3 will be coming out soon. I believe next month, or maybe early December. It's soon though. Probably 2014 for the US though. It is coming out to the US though. So that's pretty good for everybody. But again, it's this series. If you haven't played Drakengard, you should check it out. If you haven't played Nier, also, it's Drakengard. Nier is like a kind of spin-off from a timeline of the first game. Like, there's multiple endings for the game, and one of the timelines leads to Nier. And apparently Drakengard 3 has a Nier references and connection, so you should probably play Nier also. Also because it's a good game. Let's see. I got Wild Arms 3. Wild Arms 3 I got, it was like $1, and I haven't played Wild Arms 3. I've only played 1 and 2. And someone was telling me that I should play Wild Arms 3 uh, in one of my Japanese videos. So I picked it up, and eventually I'll play it. And I got this one, Summon Night Extase, I guess. Yeah, that's what it is. And I got it because I was thinking, oh, it's a strategy RPG. Wasn't really paying attention, and I was like, oh, Summon Night, that's our strategy RPG. I haven't played this one, I'll get it. And it's not a strategy RPG. Extase is like a kind of side story that's an action RPG. So I was kind of disappointed when I bought it, and I haven't played it since like trying it out the first time. Eventually, I'll probably go back to it. It didn't seem like it was horrible. It just wasn't what I wanted to play at the moment, so I put it down and haven't put it back in yet. Let's see. The last thing for the PS2 is this. This is something great. This is Dekotora Densetsu, which is like decorative truck story. If you have never heard of this, there's like this kind of subculture in Japan called Dekotora. It's like they take like trucks and pimp them out. It's like Pimp My Ride, but for big ass trucks, and they're all crazy. And this is a racing game based on that. Except I don't know how to explain it. Like, it's not a competent racing game. I'll just say that it's not a very good racing game. Mostly, it's based not on being fast, but on how you can get in the way of your opponent. Like, box him in with other cars and move in front of him so he can't pass you. That's essentially it. It's not very fast paced because, you're kind of a big decorative truck. It's also goofy in the sense that there's these kind of like, dating sim elements to it where you're talking to people and you can kind of go through and win the affections of somebody in the game. It's actually pretty. It sounds ridiculous, and it is ridiculous. And you can kind of pimp out your truck any way you like. It's pretty awesome, actually. The truck customization is the coolest part of this game. But it's not a very good racing game. So if you're like thinking, oh, I'll get it because I like racing games, probably not a good idea. But if you're thinking, I like crazy Japanese subcultures, and this is kind of the video game version of that, you should pick it up. It's cheap. And there's a ton of games in this series, which is surprising. There is... Start on the PS1, and there's maybe like 2 or 3 on the PS2. There's a Wii version, there's a DS version. If you're interested in it, you've got a lot of options, and most of them are inexpensive, except the Wii version, which is ridiculously expensive. It's not ridiculous, it's like $60, but still, it's kind of expensive. So, let's see, I've got some other stuff here. Let's see, I got... Spectral Force 3 on the Xbox 360, and generally I wouldn't have bought this actually if it wasn't cheap, and I hadn't played the really good Spectral Force Radical Elements on the PS2, and like I've played Spectral Force before, and it's bad. It's not like a very good game, and I got Spectral Force Radical Elements on the PS2, and I talked about it before, I believe. But it's really fun. The system is really fun. It's like an Idea Factory game, so the characters are crap, and the story is garbage, as with almost everything Idea Factory does. But the game system was really fun in Radical Elements, so I thought, oh, well, I'll pick up Spectral Force 3. I think it's the next game that came out after that, so it must be similar in playstyle. But it wasn't. It's not. It's the same kind of garbage as the other Spectral Force games, which I don't like. They're like subpar strategy RPGs, essentially. They're not difficult. They're not challenging, and they're not fun. It's just how it works with Spectral Force, and the characters are boring. They suck. The stories suck. That's the only way I can explain it. Spectral Force is not a good game. And I think it's disappointing, actually, because Radical Elements is it's like, I was really surprised that it was a Spectral Force game because it was so good. But yeah, that'll do it. Spectral Force 3, not so great. Let's see, I got Lost Odyssey. Lost Odyssey I surprisingly never played through. I got it because it was really cheap, and this is another thing that Pete was like egging me on to buy. Like he's like, you got to get it. It's so cheap and it's so good. And I'm not really feeling it. Like in the sense that I don't really want to play it, but it was so cheap and I got it. And I wanted to ask you guys. I've never seen the U.S. version, but it's not like this, is it? Pete was saying that it's like not in. It's not. In a big case like this one, it's like they're just like stacked on top of each other in a regular case, which I thought is ridiculous. So yeah, but Lost Odyssey, I'll probably get around to it eventually when I get in the mood to play something like that, but who knows when. Let's see, I got Steins Gate. This is the original Steins Gate. I've never played this series, and I'm not even incredibly interested in it. I know a lot of people have said it's really great and all, but I'm not incredibly interested in it. I'm not like a huge visual novel fan, but one of the lady friends was saying like, oh, I really want to play it, so I just picked it up for her. After that, we've got Alpha Protocol. Alpha Protocol is something I really wanted to play, and my good friend Lupicillo, who is currently waiting to come to Japan, was kind enough to send me this, and again, I actually started playing it, but I haven't had time to do much of it. I played it for like an hour, and it's fun so far. Actually, I'm pretty excited for playing through it. And Alpha Protocol, it got terrible reviews and people hated it, but there are a lot of people who say that, don't listen to the reviews, it's actually good. And that's a lot of people on YouTube. And when I think about who I trust more, people on YouTube who I watch and know what they like, or just regular reviewers, I'll go with the people on YouTube every time. So, Alpha Protocol, I'm giving it a shot, and so far it's fun. So I'm not gonna really complain about it. Once I finish it, I'll probably put up something about it. And the last thing I got here for the PS3 is Kamen Rider Bat-Ride War. This is a kind of Dynasty Warriors style Kamen Rider game, and it's fun. I've actually finished it. I'm gonna put up a impressions video for this, so I'm not gonna talk about it a lot. I'll put up an impressions video pretty soon, but who knows when. Eventually, in the coming week or so, once I get a bit of a free time to sit down and do it. But this game was a lot of fun, and I will talk about it later. So that'll be it. So yeah, that'll be my pickups video and slight update. The pickups part was long. I haven't done a pickups video in a long time, and this was just stuff that was lying around. I'm sure I picked up a lot more stuff than that, and I just have played it and talked about it, or played it and filed it away, and just don't remember, don't care to search. So yeah, that's about it. But yeah, I guess that'll be it for now. Next video will be eventually. That's all I can say. Besides the Kamen Rider video, which will be up soon, no idea when I'm not busy. So until then, just bear with me, I guess. And thanks for watching. See you guys next time.